Today's Chiefs Report is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Switch your cell phone provider to Mint Mobile today with wireless plans starting at just $15 per month. Save some money, whereas other things are very, very expensive right now with Mint Mobile. MintMobile.com/chatsports, the cell phone company that is owned by actor Ryan Reynolds. All right, welcome into the Chiefs Report. We have the latest Chiefs news and rumors coming up from training camp. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Hope everybody is having a great start to their week. We had a video earlier today about Orlando Brown ending his holdout. We'll give you the latest on him coming up here in a little bit. But first, Patrick Mahomes, a little injury scare. I think we're okay here. Mahomes briefly entered the medical tent earlier today to tape up his left ankle. Returned to practice shortly after. Andy Reid in his presser after practice says he got stepped on. He is okay. So obviously that is a good sign that your franchise quarterback didn't sprain an ankle or something like that during practice. Don't think there's much to see here, but always good to be cautious. You definitely don't want to push it on August 1st, right? Unless he's good to go. So good to see him back out there. He's jogging off the field with his teammates. But anytime you see the tweets come in, Patrick Mahomes heading to the injury tent, your heart's going to skip a beat there just for a moment. But all is good, and that is obviously a very good sign. Mahomes even said this after today's practice, quote, "I just got stepped on pretty hard, so I'm sure I'll get a little bit of a scratch and a bruise on there, but luckily, it wasn't any of the ankle or anything like that." So he's even saying, yeah, they taped up the ankle, but just got stepped on my foot. No big deal. Now, a big 330-pound lineman steps on you, it's going to hurt a little bit. So, yeah, he might have a little bit of a bruise. But overall, don't really have any major concerns. Sure, if there's more developments or updates tomorrow, maybe he wakes up with a bone bruise. There could be something there. But if not, I don't think there's really anything to see here at this point in time. But this is why you subscribe, because we're going to have the latest Chiefs training camp news, rumors, injury updates, everything that is coming out of St. Joseph during Chiefs camp. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, turn on that notification bell after you subscribe. That way you never miss a video here on the Chiefs Report. Let's talk about an injury that, is an injury. That is Jody Fortson, who left Saturday's practice. We talked about this in an at-home video I did over the weekend. Another reason to subscribe, because we keep you guys in the loop even on my off days. But we knew on Saturday that we wouldn't get an update from the team until today. Well, Chiefs announced that Fortson has a quad strain. Andy Reid says he should be back soon. Great news. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, right? Torn muscle, soft tissue, just a little strain. This is not a big deal whatsoever. Andy Reid even went as far as said it might just be a couple days. Like, we might see him later this week at practice, which is a great sign, because I think Jody Fortson, you look at this tight end depth chart, which is very loose, by the way. After Kelce, they all do a little bit of different things. Jody Fortson could be this team's number 2 tight end and play an impact this year. I really do believe that's a possibility. He was having a very strong start to camp, coming off that Achilles tear, looking very, very good early on here, and I think he can emerge as a legit red zone option for this team. He can be a weapon for Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. We saw flashes of it last year, right before the injury. We've seen it early on in camp here, so hopefully doesn't miss too many more practices. He's able to get out there and prove he can be that weapon. I think last year for him, the goal was to make the team. This year is to make an impact week in and week out for this Chiefs offense. Good to see. It's only a quad strain, nothing too major for Jody Fortson. Do you think Jody Fortson, sorry about the spelling there, can be a star in the NFL? Now, star is a different deal. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Can Jody Fortson be a star in this league? Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. Now, today's sponsor, Mint Mobile, offers a ton of benefits besides just the obvious one of plans starting at $15 per month. But you want to know you're not getting ripped off. Well, you're not. It's on the nation's largest 5G LTE network, high-speed data. You get unlimited talk and text, which is obviously fantastic. I do everything on my phone, so I need that unlimited data and talk and text. Mobile hotspot for free as well. That's a nice little benefit. And then, to cap it all off with the pricing, it's fantastic. Plans starting at just $15 per month with Mint Mobile. Go check them out today. A link is in the comments and in the description. A cool benefit as well, if you want to keep your same phone and your same phone number, you're able to do that. As long as you've already paid off the phone, they will send you an eSIM card, and you can just switch your provider from whatever you currently have to Mint Mobile. It's easy. It doesn't take very long. I think about 15 minutes to switch over, and you're good to go. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Get started today with Mint Mobile. Okay, let's get on the latest storylines around Orlando Brown here, as earlier today we had the breaking news video that he will end his holdout and report. We didn't know if he'd practice today. He did not, but the holdout is coming to an end. Now, classic Andy Reid quote here when asked about Orlando Brown today. He says, "When the fish is in the boat, I'll let you know." Basically saying, yeah, I heard about the holdout ending, but he wasn't here yet. Until he's here, I don't really care. So that's all he had to say about that. I expect Brown to be at practice tomorrow. I mean, the news came down at about 6, 7 a.m. this morning. They practice at 9:15. So, yeah, it's not a surprise he didn't make it to this morning's practice. But the pads did go on today, and the goal apparently for him was to be back for those padded practices. Even his own agent, Michael Portner, confirmed that. So I would expect to see him back out there tomorrow. Maybe ease him in for a day or two and then be full throttle by the end of this week or early next week. And this is big, right? I mean, you need your horses out there on the offensive line. They've been shuffling some different guys throughout camp, but it was nice to get Orlando Brown back, or it is nice to get him back, I should say, especially considering Lucas Niang is still out. He is still on the PUP list, so getting Orlando Brown back in the fold shores up one tackle spot. Now you got more flexibility, more options at right tackle with Jaron Christian, Roderick Johnson, Andrew Wiley, whoever you want to put over there, Darian Kennard as well. Lots of different bodies you can put it right if Lucas Niang does not get back by week 1. Travis Kelce even added, when asked about getting Orlando Brown back, said, quote, "That's one of our leaders," which I think that's significant for a guy who's only been on this team for 1 year to already be being told by teammates that he's a leader on this team, especially as an offensive lineman. I don't think a lot of teams in the NFL, when they're asked who their leaders are, they're pointing to the 24-year-old left tackle, but that's how they feel about this guy. The Chiefs feel like they want to keep him long-term. Brett Veach said the goal is still to get a long-term deal done. So I think all is trending in the right direction. Orlando Brown should be motivated to play really well this year. That way he really can cash in next offseason. And I expect that to really happen here, because he was starting to really play well in this system toward the end of last year. Are you glad to have Orlando Brown back? Type 1 for yes or type 2 for no. I think you should be. I know I was reading some of the comments. Some of you guys were like, trade this guy. He's holding out. You don't want to trade Orlando Brown. You want this guy here protecting Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to type my 1 for yes. Let's talk about a player that needs to bounce back, and that is Frank Clark, who appears to be locked in early on in camp. He came in good shape, off to a good start. Also did a sit-down interview with The Athletic and had this to say. He's cut booze out of his diet, said, "I stopped drinking liquor. Alcohol is a big factor in a lot of the things as far as the weight with the gut. At the end of the day, stopped drinking liquor right after the season, honestly. It was like February. As I'm going on in training, I feel my body is responding to me. I'm able to get up, work out at all times, day and night. That's really it. It was a commitment that I made." Also said he's cut back on red meat as well. And he said, look, I was willing to take a pay cut, and I think the reason he was willing to do that is, A, he knows he didn't play that well that last year, and B, this is a critical year for him. Had to sit down with Andy Reid after the season, he said, and Andy Reid apparently was kind of blunt with him, said, look, you didn't reach our expectations last year. That's why I had to take a pay cut, and now it's time for him to deliver and play well this year, because he's been trending down since joining Kansas City. That first year, pretty good. 8 sacks and was awesome in the postseason. Helped Kansas City bring the Lombardi back to the Chiefs. But next year, only 6 sacks. Last year, only 4.5. I mean, you're trending in the wrong direction. I'm not saying I expect 12 sacks or something like that, but let's get back to that 8 range. This is a capable pass rusher when he's locked in and ready to go. Will he be back to that level this year? He seems like he's committed with his diet and his body right now. Hopefully that carries over into the regular season and pays off for Frank Clark and, of course, for the Kansas City Chiefs. So fill in the blank for me. Frank Clark will have blank sacks this year. I'm going to say 6.5. I'm not fully buying in yet that he's going to have an 8 or 9 or 10 sack season. I'll go 6.5. I think he'll be better than last year. Let me know what you guys think. Fill in the blank. Frank Clark will have blank sacks this season.